Hi, I'd like to introduce you to our new range of frozen dough pieces. We've got 9 pieces in this range, 4 in the larger format, which are 470 gram pieces. When baked up, if they're baked as they are, they'll make approximately a 400 gram loaf. And basically in there we've got a multigrain, a brown, a brioche and white. And then in the smaller format we've got 3 batons, 55 grams for the multigrain brown and white. We've got a little 60 gram brioche around there as well, and then 80 grams for the spiced fruit bun, which is our one sweet offer in there. Really simple and easy to use these products are. Basically you just thaw them out, prove them, and then they're ready to bake. In the smaller format you can bake them straight from proving as they are to get lovely little finger rolls, or you can mould them into any shape you so wish. Same with the larger pieces, they can be baked off as tin loaves, making, like I say, approximately 400 gram tin loaf, or you can bake them in that shape as a bloomer, or you can cut them down into any size or shape that you want and then just make any kind of roll that is going to work best for yourselves. So that's the range. First thing we need to do with them is defrosting them, and that couldn't be easier. Simply the night before, get them out, pop them onto a floured tray or baking sheet and leave them preferably in a refrigerator overnight. If you're in a hurry, you don't have to do that. You can leave them in a cooler room, which will speed the process up, and not too hot, or they'll start to prove before they're defrosted. But that's it, very simply. Prove them overnight. When you come in the following morning, they'll be like this, a little soft, but not quite proving, and they're ready to move on to the proving stage. Okay, so let's look at the process for proving the bread now. Really couldn't be more simple. Key thing at this stage though is to decide what it is that you want to do with the bread next. If you're going to decide to actually mould the bread, whether it's using these smaller pieces or the larger pieces, then now's the time to do that. So in this instance, if you were going to just prove them as they are, so you're making, say, maybe a large bloomer loaf or similar, then very simply keep them covered over with the lightly oiled food safe polythene or cling film and put them to one side, somewhere warm and a little bit moist. If you've got a proving setting on your oven and you can use it, then great, but otherwise appreciate that can be an issue, so just pop it somewhere warm above a stove or by a hot cupboard or something and leave them, depending on the temperature. The larger pieces are going to take about an hour or so to prove and double in size. As I say, you could at this point cut them into smaller pieces. Same with the smaller pieces that we've already got here, the baton rolls. At this point, if you're going to just prove them as they are, and you just want to make the baton rolls into little finger rolls, you can leave them exactly as they are. Again, cover them over, put them to one side, but you could also at this point shape them into something. So if, say, for example, we're going to make, what should we make? Should we make a simple little round? You might need a little flour on the board, just a little flour on the hand, but very simple, just to mould them through, just like you would with any dough that you'd normally use, and make them into a nice little round roll like so. Put that there. Or we could say maybe take this one here and we can make this into, make a little knot or something like that. So very simply roll it as you would with any dough if you'd be making it yourself. Very simple, into a little knot, and we can make a knot. And we can do the same across all of them. It's the same principle for any of the breads, the whole process from start to finish, the defrosting, the proving, the baking, whether it's the brioche, the white, the brown, or the multigrain, it's all the same process. So I will now mould those into different shapes. We'll put them all to one side and we'll leave them to prove. As I say, the smaller pieces, probably about 30 minutes or so, and we'll come back and have a little look at them once they've doubled in size and they're ready to go in the oven. Okay, so now we're fully proved and we're ready to bake. And this is what your dough pieces should look like once they're proved. This was our original dough stick, so you can see it's fairly small and it's comfortably doubled inside, and they're looking really plump and ready to go into the oven. So at this stage, before we put them in the oven, we're going to decide how we want to top them. You can just very simply just top them over with a little bit of flour. You can just dust them over really quickly. I'm going to dust quite a few of these rather than egg wash too many, because we don't want to be taking too long on these, but very simply dust them with a bit of flour, or we can at this point put a little bit of egg wash on, and then that gives us the option of putting some interesting toppings on as well. So I'll egg wash these couple here. Got a nice little knot there, nice little egg wash. It's just simple egg and a little bit of milk in there. The less milk you put in, the deeper the glaze will be. And then we'll top these with a couple of different toppings. Let's take some good old poppy seeds for our little baton here, and we'll top them over like that. Don't be too shy. And I think we'll go with some sesame seeds on our little knot. There we go. And then at that point we can put a cut. And something like the rounds, you can just do, scissors are always good, or maybe along these here. That gives you a really nice, interesting little finish. Or we can go for a simple split, straight along there like that. Nice, and don't be shy. You can use a razor blade, but a sharp knife will do the job. And there we go. They are ready to go in the oven. So what I'll do now is I'll take these, and I've got my oven here, And I've got this at about 220 degrees. I'll pop that in the oven. And obviously, if you've got steam at this point, would be a great time to put the steam on. But I haven't got steam in here, so a hot tray in the bottom and a little bit of water, boiling water from a kettle, just to start a bit of steam off. We'll pop that in and we'll close that up. And then we're going to let them bake through. Probably going to take, again, at that temperature, about 18 to 20 minutes. I'll take the steam out about 5 minutes before it finishes, and that'll give it a nice crust and make sure it comes back nice and crispy at the end. And that's them baking away. We'll have a look when they come out. Okay, well, it's been about 18 minutes now, and the bread is looking pretty ready to me. So let's have a little look. Absolutely, look at that. Looking absolutely perfect. Lovely colour, beautiful fresh bread aroma coming off of there. They are spot on. We'll just make sure that they are absolutely cooked. So to do that, we'll just very quickly, you can hear that lovely hollow sound on the bottom of there. Key thing on that is to make sure that if you're not sure, overbake them slightly. Give them a little longer. You don't want them raw in the middle. You're better off over than under. But it's not just about that sort of dinner roll selection. If you look here, you can see the full plethora of products that you can make from this whole dough range. From lovely tin loaves for gas, we've got a little white cob at the front there, a brown top with linseed on a lovely loaf there, different size rolls and types there. That's the focaccia that we were looking at earlier on. Made a lovely little goat's cheese and roasted vegetable pizza here, absolutely simple. And then don't forget about those wonderful spiced fruit buns. They're versatile as well. Here I've just tried to show how you can personalise them and maybe even move them through the seasons a little bit. So around Easter time, everyone wants a hot cross bun. Fine. Make a little bit of a flour and water paste and just pipe a little cross on top before they go in the oven, and you've got a hot cross bun. Or top it with a little bit of lemon curd and some lemon zest for something a bit fresher and a bit more exciting. Autumn time, how about whiskey and marmalade? Lovely little glaze on there. And at Christmas, what could be better? Got to get some cranberries in there, and I've made a little glaze with ginger and cranberry for that one. So there it is. That's our frozen bread range. A fantastic selection, limited only by your imagination.